On Tuesday morning, Michael texted me and said, I don't feel right today. I don't think I should come over. I'm tired and maybe I have the vid. I told Michael he was being supremely annoying and to just come over and play for the lessons. So when he came over, we gave 3 in-person lessons. And then I was like, maybe Dr. Elizabeth needs to step in to make sure that Michael knows that he's a giant idiot. So I gave him 2 at-home but differently branded COVID tests. One comes back negative, one comes back positive. It was like all smudgy under the line. You know, had like pink smudge. That's like the death card, the new pink smudge. Anyway, I'm like, okay, Michael, you have COVID. So he was like, fan-fucking-tastic. And so he goes home. Okay. On Wednesday, I decide that Ellie and I both need to be tested. Michael had infected us with his gross piano hand COVID, and Ellie had jumped onto his head and played the piano for him. So I decide that we both need to be tested. At the same time, I decide that I must have the cello from France that Ellie has been waiting for, and it's ready for her. And that the whole world is going to shut down soon, and I need to get my hands on her special cello. So now I'm trying to talk Delta off a $10,000 thing that they're on about seats now, and that trying to find someone to go to France for me, like tomorrow, or it was yesterday. Okay, Ellie and I leave the house to get tested. I had like a 30-minute break between students. Ellie has on her Stitch onesie and is just proudly going down Columbus Avenue. We discover that the line is 2 hours long. So we decide to stay in line, but use this time to convince Ellie's father that we had bought a green parakeet named Greensby or Greensleeve or something, and that it was a late holiday gift and we would be bringing it over. Ellie had been setting up this for a while, and it was quite the long game, quite a long con. Her text game proved just as convincing. I remain impressed and quite terrified. Also, while in line during Parakeet Gate 2021, I noticed that large sectors of the human population grossly lack line integrity. Elizabeth defines line integrity as the human responsibility to stand in a line. So you don't huddle, you don't group, you keep an even distance. You can't just have like 100 yards open for like 9 football fields. You just stay in the line. When the line moves, it is your responsibility to move. Okay, so Ellie is selling her parakeet story, and I am worried about these lines because, I mean, that's concerning, right? We need to know how to stand in lines. I'm now teaching Ellie how to stand in lines. That's just like how to teach your daughter something. Okay. I got so stressed out that the people weren't moving forward that a part of my tooth fell out, just on the ground. And I think that's kind of like symbolic of everything right now. I think it's a microcosm, just like a heart of the shit, just on the ground. Okay. After 2 hours of waiting in the line, it was finally our turn. We had earned it. It was our chance to see if we were infected with an illness. We walked up. I went first. She went second. We walked home and discussed best modes of transportation for large birds. I opened my email to discover that the results were in. I had COVID. It was positive in red. I was like, what? I had managed to evade it for 2 years. And now me, COVID, Disney cruise, totally safe, Orlando airport, everybody who wears a mask when they walk around outside NYC. Where did I get this? Obviously, Florida. Okay, so now I open another email in Ellie's name, and it's negative, but it has all of my information, like my birth date. And I'm like, what? Then I open a third email that says that I am negative. So at this point, I have like 3 emails, none of which make sense. So I'm like, what? So I decided that I would call the company 32 times with a different level of whimsy/anger. So it went all the way from, hi, this is Elizabeth. I'm just calling again to see if we could check into the mysterious test results I received, all the way to, hello, I'm literally going to I'm going to blow up. I don't know. My head is going to fly off my body unless you email me back. Okay. So I pull up Ellie's ballet teacher on my phone. We had just seen her and I felt terrible. She has young children at home. We love her. The weight of the world just fell on me and a montage of my life went by, like on TV when somebody dies. You get shot on a sidewalk on the TV show Blacklist, and you lay there on the sidewalk while the world goes by. That's kind of what happened to me as I was about to text the ballet teacher. So I saw everything. It was a nice jaunt down memory lane. And I texted her and told her, and then she was like, oh my gosh, maybe I have COVID. And I was like, no. Okay, so knowing that Ellie's 5th position glissades aren't perfect, and she will not tighten it. All ballet is canceled before my eyes. Gone. How are the glissades going to get there? I don't know. This will probably keep you awake too, so I apologize for even making this video. If you're that worried about her glissades, also let me know and we could form a support group. Why can't she bring the back leg in straighter? I don't know. Okay. When I began yammering about ballet technique, Ellie stares at me and then says, do you want to talk about how slowly I practiced the Lalo today? And then, because I'm like a distracted giant squirrel, I was all like, what? How slowly? 60? Hans method? And then she was like, Hans method. The girl is clever. Very scary. I text one of the 3 students I had been around. Her mom was like, no worries, and then promptly texted me a list of things to take. And I was like, okay, I cannot bring myself to text the other 2. I'm going to wait for the PCR test. I'm a scourge of the world. Okay, I finally decided to email the Thursday parents and let them know I have COVID. I'm going to be online for a little while. My own parents, my sister, parents of students, they're texting me. How do I feel? Am I okay? Can they do anything? And I'm like, well, I'm tired, but I'm always tired. So I don't know when the next level of tired begins. Have I reached the top of the tired? Was my throat sort of raspy? Yeah. Did I have a headache? Yep. Do I have a headache every day? Okay, so as I began to really ponder COVID-19, how many lives can it ruin? When is this over? How can I contribute to making it go away? When will Ellie have a negative PCR test? Was it too late to become a humanitarian? What's happening? Okay, I went to bed and through the night my symptoms worsened. Lack of swallowing ability, excessive thirst, and for some reason I was tired also when I stomped around the apartment at 4 a.m. I stared at my giant life-size Ellies on the wall and cried, my giant photos of Ellie that I have, because will she ever get back to ballet? Nobody knows. This morning was rougher. People kept checking on me and I kept being very tired. Ellie began to have a runny nose. I began talking to Ellie about my life insurance and other pertinent info. I started to get really upset about ballet and testing into classes, and I walked over to the testing booth and asked to speak to somebody. Alessandra, the name may or may not have changed, probably not because I'm really tired, comes out and says, and I said, hey, I think my results might be mixed up or confused. And she was like, no, that's impossible. And I was like, And then she was like, wait a second, is your name on this list of 12 people? And I was like, that's my name, Elizabeth. And she was like, oh my God, yes, yours got messed up. It's a false positive. And I was like this. And then she was all like, no, you don't understand. Positive means you don't have it. And I was like, I stared into the depths of the soul of Alessandra. Following this intellectual conversation, I yelled at a lot of people about the line procedures that they were still not following. A whole new group of people not able to stand in line. And then I walked home. So I just want to let you know, I do not have COVID. And we need to really start making lines. Everyone needs to pull their back foot in better on the glissades. And it's scary out there, y'all. Just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Put on your hoodie and stomp through the streets.